our attention spans are being eroded away.
Would I advertise hustle culture to everybody?
I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna meditate,
All
I'm
at the
gonna
same
say,
day.
yeah, it's like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Does it really matter what you do the first thing in the morning?
The online world is not real.
You get to see what I'm showing.
But it's not real. You're getting closer and closer to that stress threshold.
I think it's a real skill to be able to say no without offending.
As someone who would describe themselves as a people pleaser in recovery, I'm
Not even in recovery yet. Hello everyone, this is Ankush Bahuguna. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we get into this video, I just wanted to quickly be honest about something because you will notice this while watching the video. So यार हुआ ये कि a few weeks ago I announced that I will be meeting Dr. Angan Chatterjee for this video. And for those of you who don't know, Dr. Angan Chatterjee is a physician, he's an author, and he's a very famous podcaster. Built to Thrive is his podcast on Amazon Music, and it's amazing. If you haven't heard it, please check it out. It will really help you. But basically हुआ ये कि I went to shoot with him. The shoot went great, but उसके बाद एक tragedy सी हो गई है क्योंकि a lot of files got corrupted and we were shooting this from two angles. So मेरे जो close-ups थे, a lot of them got I don't have them because they got corrupt. So it'll be a little odd to watch me talk in some other direction. पहली बता रहा हूँ. So yeah, that happened, and honestly, it's taken me days and days to figure out how to retrieve that data, but नहीं हो पाया. And I didn't want to lose out on this video also because it's a great conversation. So I've tried my best to save it in every way that I can. So I hope you have a good time watching this, and I hope the conversation is amazing. You find it amazing, and yeah, I'm really sorry for the goof up. This has never happened before, but there's always a first time, I guess. But anyway, let's get right into the video now. This video is unlike any other video that you've seen on my channel because you've obviously seen me do comedy, beauty, makeup. But I'm with Dr. Angan Chatterjee today, and I'm looking forward to a very insightful conversation. And how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm really, really excited.
Okay, and I have so many questions for you in my head.
I look forward to hearing them.
And in fact, interestingly, I did a thing on my Instagram where I was like, okay, I'm meeting you tomorrow. And if you have any questions, please ask. And I got such intense questions, by the way.
Okay, I love answering questions, so let's go,
I've picked a few of your questions that you wanted to ask Dr. Angan Chatterjee, and we're going to address that in this video. But please keep watching, stay tuned for a very interesting and insightful conversation today. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It would mean the world to me. He's sitting there like, yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah.
I get that. First of all, I'm so glad that your podcast, Built to Thrive, has some episodes that are very pocket-sized. The duration is not a lot because I have a very short attention span.
Yeah, I think many people would describe themselves these days as having a short attention span.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why these episodes are only 5 minutes long.
Right.
This is really common now. Many of us struggle to focus. We struggle to concentrate.
Right.
We struggle to stay, on a task that we're trying to do.
Yeah, for more than a minute.
Yeah, and the truth is that our attention spans are being eroded away. Now, I'm not here to, have a go at social media.
Social media is bad because you're watching this on social media.
Yeah, I get, nothing I've realized in life, or very few things are either good or bad. It's how you're using it. Right? So if you are spending lots of time, let's say on Instagram, you're getting bombarded with information. You're asking your brain to switch where it's focusing literally by the second as you're just scrolling through.
I don't like this.
I don't like this, don't like this. So you're training yourself to have a short attention span.
So in season 2 of Built to Thrive, what kind of topics are you covering?
So we cover, how can you sleep better? How can you identify burnout and deal with burnout?
Mm-hmm.
What are the simple practices that we can all do each day that even if we're really busy, we've still got time to do?
But it sounds like a task because I struggle with everyday things. For example, I am someone who will have a lot of stuff to do, but the whole idea of having so much to do intimidates me. And then I'm very unproductive that way because I'll make lists and lists and lists, and then I'll just keep staring at the list and I'll just procrastinate.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How do you...
I was not ready for this, okay.
How do you start each day, if you don't mind sharing?
I wake up, I check
the insights of the last video that I put online.
What is a micro-stress dose? A micro-stress dose is a small dose of stress that in isolation we can deal with just fine. Right? The problem is when those micro-stress doses build up one after the other. They add up, right? So we've all got what I call our personal stress threshold, right? And it's going to be different for you, to me, it's going to be different day to day. But we've got this threshold. Every time you build up, you accumulate a micro-stress dose, you keep accumulating them, you're getting closer and closer to that stress threshold, right? When you get to that stress threshold, that's when things go wrong. That's when we feel anxious. That's when a very simple email from one of our colleagues starts to really bother us. You do what many people do, you grab your phone straight away, right? Yeah. And then you're looking at things. So, let's say your video has underperformed.
Yeah.
You're probably slightly anxious about that micro-stress dose number 2. Yeah. What about if any negative comments come? Oh, I didn't like your last video. That sort of thing. Micro-stress dose number 3. And honestly, if we look at that, then let's say you go on the news.
Yeah.
Quick look at the news whilst you're in bed, and you see, the news is not exactly full of positive headlines. It's the worst of what's going on in society. Mm-hmm. For many people, right, before they've got out of bed, they've accumulated 10 to 15 micro-stress doses, which means you have very little headroom left. So you only need a few hits of stress in the day
to
throw you off, right? I'm so passionate about the first part of our day because if we do something intentional, like a morning routine.
Does it really matter what you do the first thing in the morning?
100%.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the most important time of the day, and I'll tell you why. It's one of the only times in the day where we have control over our time. The main concept is, if you don't have at least 5 or 10 minutes in the morning where you are being intentional about your own time, it doesn't surprise me that you're going to struggle with anxiety or procrastination or too many things going on, because we're basically saying that even at that time of the day, our own internal world is not worth a bit of attention, right? I think it's a different way to frame it for people.
That's harsh.
It is, but I say that with love and compassion.
Of course.
I promise you. I also can be guilty of that. So I've realized in my own life, when I have a good morning routine, I'm a better human being in every single way, right? I'm a better doctor. I'm more productive. I'm a much more patient and attentive husband. I'm a better father. And on the days where I think, I don't have time today, I need to get onto email, I need to keep going, I always feel it later. There's friction in relationships. I don't get through my to-do lists, right? So you actually get that time back tenfold, right? So I'll tell you what I do. I get up. I don't have my phone in my room anymore because it is frankly impossible to resist looking at your phone if it's in your room. So when I get up,
you don't have access to it.
I don't have access to it, so I can't look at it. I personally do some breathing for 5 minutes, right, at the side of the bed. Then I go downstairs to the kitchen and I like to make coffee.
Doing something else.
I'm doing something else. I'm doing some press-ups, or I've got some dumbbells in the kitchen. I'm doing something to move my body. And because it's only 5 minutes, I can never really say to myself, I don't have time. I'm using the time where my coffee is brewing.
Yeah, otherwise that time would have gone into scrolling.
Exactly. And then I get the beautiful reward of a nice cup of coffee, the way I like it. And then while I'm drinking, again, I'm not going online, I do something for my that makes me feel good. So I have a few books lying around my kitchen, and I'll just pick up a book that is uplifting, and I'll read a few pages. Now that takes literally about 15 to 20 minutes. And as I say, on the days where I do that, I'm a different human being. Mm. If we give up control of our mornings to our phones, we may never get it back all day.
And I'm someone who would not take a break, but would also not be extremely productive. So I will waste the whole day with having no work done, and I'll also be tired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I absolutely recognize that in myself at times as well. I think it's very, very common. But a really helpful tip for to-do lists is, first of all, acknowledging they'll never be done. And then number 2...
That's simple. I think that just puts the pressure off.
Takes the pressure off. But number 2, you need a done for the day list. Right? You have to look at that to-do list, Can you be really disciplined and go, actually, you know what, there's 20 things on there, I probably won't get through them all, but if I get through these 7 and I star them, then that is done for the day. That's a successful day. For many people, this is life-changing, because then, if you think you have to do all 20 and you get to 6 p.m. and you're only at 10,
Yeah.
you go, oh man, you know, and you get into this real...
And you spend the next 2 hours just thinking how you'll ever get through this instead of actually doing something.
Totally. Whereas if you have gone, actually, yeah, I want to get through 20, but realistically, if I get these 7 done, they're the important ones that are going to move the needle for me, then that's your done for the day list. So some people find that really, really helpful, but it comes down to prioritizing. A lot of us aren't good at prioritizing. We think everything is a top priority. I think learning to prioritize is probably one of the most undervalued skills. But that's why I said in the morning, can you start the day with 5 or 10 minutes when you're not on your phone?
I honestly think that's pretty doable.
That's doable, but what it requires is an intentional decision.
Since we're on the topic of podcasts and you're a podcaster, I wanted to address this, that I feel that there are 2 sides on the internet, like 2 opinions. One side says that, you know, a lot of podcasters have really advertised the whole idea of toxic hustle culture, that, you know, like, keep trying till it kills you, and, you know, if you're not going to work 24/7, you're not going to be where you want to be. And then there is another side, it was like, okay, hustle culture is very toxic, this does not allow you to take days off for preserving your mental health, and this is unhealthy and everything. So, like, I mean, I personally find both the sides very, like, extreme. I mean, I have hustled in my life, and that's where I've reached where I have. If I took those days off, would I be here? I don't know. Like, and would I advertise hustle culture to everybody? Probably not. No, I don't advertise it. But I also feel that now the current generation who's grown up on the internet, who's grown up with this information overload, where everybody's saying the right things for social media, you know, that take the days off to preserve your mental health and, you know, take care of yourself. It's okay to take the day off, everything. How do you maintain that balance of preserving your mental health and also being professional? Because work will demand you to show up every day, right?
Yeah, it's a great point you're raising.
I may get a lot of hate for saying this, because I'm not saying that you're not supposed to take care of your mental health. Of course you have to. But then nobody's telling you how to, you know, strike that balance. Because, for example, if I'm a makeup artist, I take a booking and I take the day off because I'm not feeling great mentally. But what about the client?
Yeah. And there's the short term and the long term here. So the short term is sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do because that's what our job requires us to do.
Yeah.
But if that's happening too often, you have to ask yourself, like, what's more important here? Is it my work or my health and well-being?
But Rangan, work will always be more important for more people because it's a privilege to choose not to.
100%.
Yeah.
So you have to, as we all do, you have to really acknowledge that. Some people, they're going to be in a toxic work situation that they don't enjoy, that they have to do because that's how they pay the bills.
Yeah, you've got to pay your bills.
So then if that is the situation, you have to make sure in your time off work that you're really nourishing yourself, right? If you then go from that situation to then spending those 3-4 hours afterwards, you know, passively consuming content online, you're going to dig yourself into a hole, right? The online world is not real, right? Don't get me wrong. I live in the online world a lot. I put out content.
But I know what you mean.
But it's not real. It's not something you can touch and feel like you can your partner or your children or your friends.
It's curated at every given step. Like, I being a content creator, I'm saying that because it's not like you get to see all aspects of my life. You get to see what I'm showing.
Like I say this about, let's say Tiger Woods, for example, you know, regarded as the greatest golfer of all time. A lot of people think they want to be Tiger. They think, I want to play golf like Tiger Woods, right? You think you want to be Tiger, but you don't, because you can't have Tiger's golf swing without the broken marriage, the painkiller addiction, the public humiliation. You can't have it.
You can't pick and choose.
You can't pick and choose.
Yeah.
If you want to be Tiger, you have to have everything. The dedication and the focus and the lost childhood that he had to go through to be that good, that's the price you have to pay.
So give me some easy tips for lazy people to be more productive on an everyday basis, like practical tips.
If you really are someone who you would identify as lazy, and I hate saying that because I always think there's an underlying reason why people feel that way, I would say make it really small. Pick one thing, not 2 things, 3 things, 4 things, one thing that you are going to do.
And that you're sure that you will be able to do.
Yeah, and make a small promise to yourself that you are going to do it for 7 days. The problem is we make it too big. Pick one small thing, do it every day, make it dead small.
Yeah.
You will start to feel different. Your identity will start to change. Instead of feeling that you're a lazy person, you will quickly build up evidence that,
I have accomplished
something.
Yeah.
There's something really powerful. Everyone tries to make it too hard. They go from complete laziness to, right, I'm
100% efficiency.
going to work out, I'm going to meditate.
All at the same time.
Yeah, it's like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
right?
be realistic. Set realistic goals, basically.
Yeah.
One of my followers wanted to ask you, how do you give people happiness without them taking advantage of you? I think a lot of people feel that, oh, I'm giving too much.
Yeah, as someone who would describe themselves as a people pleaser in recovery,
Not even in recovery yet.
You know, humans are social beings. We're designed to do things for other people. We feel good when we do things for other people. It really comes down to, I think a helpful way of looking at it for people is, what's the energy behind my decision, right? So, am I doing this thing for that other person out of obligation? People respect the honesty.
I think it's a real skill to be able to say no without offending people. But it's also about how the other person takes it, to be honest.
Well, yeah, but on that, how other people perceive what you've said is actually nothing to do with you. If they take offense to that, often it's because they don't know how to put up boundaries themselves. And actually it just reflects something that's lacking in them. And here's the problem here. If people around you are used to you being a people pleaser, if the people in your family are used to you always putting your needs last and their needs first, when you start putting up boundaries,
there's going to be resistance.
There's going to be friction. There's more authenticity when you can truly be honest and express how you feel.
And you feel respected, that even if I set this boundary, this other person is going to respect it.
Exactly.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, another question that I got was, how do you deal with letting go of a dream that did not come true?
Yeah, that's a good one. Really good question.
Yeah, I don't know how.
This is really about failure, isn't it?
Yeah.
And learning to embrace failure.
It's difficult.
It's difficult, but I think it's one of the most important things we can do because everyone fails. Ask yourself, what can you learn from that failure? Every failure can teach us a lesson. The question is, are we prepared to...
Are you willing to listen?
Listen.
Yeah.
And whoever asks you that question, I really want them to just pause and go, that failure, what did I learn about myself? What did I learn about other people? What did I learn about my dreams? And if you can really tune into that, you will find that that will be the springboard for future success and future happiness.
You know, I read this somewhere, I don't know who said this, I'm sorry, but I read this somewhere that you are so much more than not just your failures, but also your achievements.
Yeah.
So like, don't be too attached to your achievements, and also don't be bogged down by your failures, because eventually, even if you're at the top of your game, you're still more than that.
Yeah.
Like, that can't be your entire personality.
Exactly.
So if that is not your entire personality, then how is one failed dream, that says very little about you?
Yeah. Love that.
He's actually validated this. This feels great. But that was a beautiful conversation. I'm so glad that we got to talk about so many relevant things.
I just want to share with them that there is always a way out.
Mm-hmm.
There is something you can do, and I just encourage people to find one thing that we spoke about and make one small promise to yourself, commit to doing it, and just watch how your life starts to change.
And yeah, please subscribe to my channel if you already haven't, subscribe to his channel if you already haven't, and yeah, tell us in the comments what was the best part about this video, and I'll see you guys next time.